Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. Today I've got an unboxing and first impressions for you. Let's fetch in the box and it'll tell you what the pen is. So we've got here a Monteverde Ritma. This is in the olive colour, special edition colour. So Monteverde USA owned company. Let's turn around the box. So we've got their website there. The pattern continues at the bottom. Website again. Then we come back to the front. One end, we've got the barcode. So this is the olive colour and it's a broad pen. The other end is all open for the box. So let's ease out that inner box. There we go. So this is a black coloured box. Feels like it's plastic. We've got Monteverde USA and I'm guessing that's the Monteverde logo. The front, we've got a snap opener. The back, we've got details about recyclability. I'm guessing these are production marks from where it was being produced. Hinge. Then on the sides, they're fairly plain. Let's take a look at what's inside the box then. That just clips open. Nice click, isn't it? Always satisfying with them clicks. Then we've got, it feels like a plush type lining. We've got the pen. Just going to quickly turn that around. Let's see what else is in the box, then we'll take a closer look at the pen. So let's ease out that bottom. So beneath there, we've got at the very bottom some details on the 2021 Special Collectible Edition Olive Green. That's something for me to read later on. Details about the collection. We've got some Monteverde details. And then looks like we've got an instruction booklet. Also in here, we've got a couple of cartridges. Looks like one black and one blue. Let's pop that all back in and get this box out of the way. Right, so let's fetch the pen back in. My pen rest. So we'll fetch the pen back in. The Monteverde Ritma. So my first look at it, which is what we've got here. Yes, I know I did open it during ink vent, but I didn't really pay too much attention because I think that spoils when I'm doing these first impressions video. We've got a metal cap, very shiny. I'm guessing that's going to really attract my fingerprints. We've then got this more matte colour. I think it's aluminium. There we go. And that's that olive green colour. It looks really nice. Very flat colour though. Then at the end, we've got another metal piece. I think this is for the cap. I believe the cap is a magnetic mechanism. Let's find out. Let's take off the cap. Yep. So if I take the cap off, then just slowly fetch it back. There we go, and it snaps back in. Let's take the cap off properly this time, and we'll look at the nib. Here, look at this. Just move this forward a bit so the nib's actually over my brow so we can see it better. This is a Yoho nib. It's a gorgeous black colour. It's a broad nib. Got very simple markings on it. Looks like there's a bit of etching at the side. I think that says 2021. I'll have to get my loop out later on. Then we've got what looks like a mountain chain going across through the breather hole. The logo. And then I think that's Monteverde. Really nice and simple. Really tells you what it is though. And I like the black coloured nibs as well. If we unscrew the body, inside we've got a converter there. Let's pop this back on. It's all metal fillings. It's a metal body, so not even worth thinking about eyedropper in it. And then at the end where we've got this end cap, which is slightly recessed. Again, I think this is for the magnetic system. So let's slowly try pushing this on and see if a magnet catches it. Yep. One more time. So that means that cap, that's now held nice and secure. Very good idea. I like the way that the line goes. So between the cap here and the actual body, there's nothing. It's just straight. You can feel as you go over the join, but that's it. The only place where it's going off this straight line is on this end cap. Very nice. What we've got there on the cap, yeah, not a lot. Nice and plain. The clip, very stiff. Let's swap over the view so we can do a size comparison. My size comparison, Pilot Metropolitan, Lamy Safari, my two standard pens that I use. Looking at this, all three pens, very similar size. Let's take the caps off and look at them unposted. Unposted and with the nibs lined up, again, we're not seeing that much in the way of size difference. What we do see though is a big difference in the size of the nib. The Ritma, that's got a number 6 size nib. Let's look at them posted. With the pens posted, we've now got a little bit of a noticeable difference. We've got a small with the Metropolitan, medium with the Ritma, and large with the Lamy Safari. I'm going to step away from the desk and I'm going to give the pen a clean out. When I come back, we'll fill it with ink, do a writing sample, then I'll give you my first impressions. So I've cleaned out the pen, but I did come over a problem with it. The first few times I worked the piston here on this converter, when I was coming up, there was no water coming in. It wasn't actually getting anything in. I did slightly tighten this, the way that the piston feels there, into the section, and that then would fetch water up. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. So let's pop this over to one side. I won't bother putting it back together because we're going to take it apart to put the ink in, aren't we? Fetching my ink holder. So the ink I'm going to use, I thought, well, it's an olive pen. Really need to use an olive ink. So I decided I'm going to use, from Inkvent of 2022, the Olive Swirl. Look at that. Now this is a chameleon ink. You see there we've got the chameleon at the bottom. So I'm going to give this a good agitate to get hopefully all into suspension. Right, that seems to be all mixed in now. I've got the pen ready to go. I need to get this off quickly and get the pen in and filled as quick as I can to hopefully try and capture that chameleon whilst it's still in suspension. In goes the pen. Will it fit? Yeah. Let's come up, down, up again, down again. I'm getting the same problem. I'm getting very little ink. I'm going to do it one more time. So after going up and down a few times, look at that, get next to none in there. So that's something I'm going to have to investigate a bit further. Let me just clean off the pen and pop it back together. Let's get the ink out of the way. This is the problem with these smaller bottles. You know, it's got a very narrow opening, and also because there's a lot of ink in there, the first few times that you fill in pens, you end up with ink like this going all over the place. I've brought in the notepad of testing. This is Oxford Optic paper. It's a nice fountain pen friendly paper. Hopefully it'll give this chameleon a chance to show through. Let's do some writing. Let's see what it's like. So we've got here a Monteverde Ritma with a broad nib. This is a very, very smooth nib. It cost me 77 Australian dollars. The ink, a Diamine, and it's Olive Swirl. And looking at the ink in the body, what a good match. Drying times, so we go immediate, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute. Yeah, still smudging a little tiny bit, but after a minute that's more or less dry. Let's move the mic down to the page so you can hear the pen write. That is virtually silent as I'm writing. The only noise I hear, I'm going to move the pen up to the mic. What I'm going to do is take this cap off. Do that again. That satisfying pop when you're pulling the cap off. I really like that. I know it's a little tiny thing, but to me, it's these little things that just add to the pleasure. You know, when I'm writing with it, it was virtually silent. Let's look for any line variation. That's no pressure. There's some pressure, so a slightly wider line. No pressure, pressure, no pressure, pressure, none, and some. So again, little tiny difference on them down lines. Flow test. Yep, keeps up really nice and well. So what are my first impressions of the Monteverde Ritma? Well, certainly it looks nice. It actually looks quite different compared to a lot of my other pens. It's more, I'm going to call it chunky, more like blocks. I quite like it. It's simple. We look at the writing. You know, the writing we're getting. Hopefully we can start to see some of that chameleon coming through. Certainly up here on the Monteverde, there's loads of shimmer there from that chameleon. And hopefully as it fully dries, I've found with this chameleon, it actually takes quite a while to fully dry, and then it comes out even more. And it's hard to capture that when you're looking over a camera. I see a load of shading, looks really nice, lots of character to the writing. I need to spend some time looking at this converter. What I might have to do, I've got a number of other converters, hopefully one of those may fit in here. Or it may be that I need to disassemble this and give that a good clean. Hopefully a minor thing. Let's pop this back on. Writing, very, very smooth. Next to no feedback. For me, and this is a very personal thing, I like my pens to have a little bit of feedback. Let me just move this up a little bit so it's more central in the camera. It's very nice though. I like the match of the ink and the body colour. I think that's really good. I think this olive swirl was a really good choice. All in all, very, very impressed by this. And at 77 Aussie dollars, at the moment, I think it's actually worth it. But I need to do that longer term testing to see, well, how does it stand up? How does it last over a number of months and more heavy use? So this is my first impression of the Monteverde Ritma with Diamine Olive Swirl. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Have you got a Monteverde Ritma? What are your thoughts on it? Have you got any other Monteverde pens? Again, what are your thoughts on those? I'd really be interested to know. Please drop your comments down below. Let's kickstart a conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.